Morning. All right, guys. We'll just wait here a couple of minutes before we get started. I do have the risk disclosure up, so you can review that as we wait for folks to join. Morning, Jim B. We'll get started here in a couple of minutes, guys. Just giving folks a chance to get here. Morning, Sergey. Good morning, Frizu. Just a minute or so, we'll get started here, guys. I do have the risk disclosure up, so you can kind of review that if you are new to the room. Morning, Reading Tiger. All right. We're going to go ahead and get started. Again, I do have on my screen the risk disclosure. Again, just communicating that I'm not here in any sort of investment advisory capacity. I'm not here to, offer, solicit to offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any company, security, instrument, or fund. We all understand that I'm here purely as an educational point of view. Any use of this information is to be used at your own risk. Myself, the company, its partners, assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of this information. Okay, we all understand that future trading does contain a fair amount of risk, and an investor could lose potentially all of their investment capital. And the recommendation here is that only risk capital, money that you can otherwise afford to lose, should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation or an offer to buy, sell futures, options, or Forex. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so now that I got the risk disclosure out of the way, we'll go ahead and see what the we have. And I guess the major news event is the CPI just came in, and it came in slightly under forecast. Okay. Year over year, we're, I guess, 0.1% below. Month over month, looks like we came in line. or as expected or as forecasted. Okay. So the only other bit of news, and this is, I guess, important for the crude oil traders, is that we have inventories today at 10:30 Eastern time. Okay. And then we have a Fed member speaking, but that's going to be well past the New York session. Okay. So good news again is that we have news right off the bat out of the way, so that can kind of be digested here. As you know, especially the way I trade, I generally wait for the news to kind of settle, right? I'm by waiting for the initial balance range to be established here, so I'm less exposed to sort of any kind of whippy, volatile, kind of up and down price action, because the market participants don't know exactly, or are still kind of trying to figure out exactly what direction they want to take the market after they've digested the news. Okay. All right. So we've gotten the news. We'll go ahead and start looking at the markets here. And the first market that we always take a look at is the gold market. All right. We start with a kind of a multi-time frame analysis. Yes, you've lost so many combines. Yes, a lot of combines are lost because we have this feeling that we can, know the direction, and because we don't know the direction, we're not necessarily committed to whatever move unless it moves in our way, and then sometimes it moves against us really in a very harsh way. So, yes, trading news is not the best. So, all right. So we start, again each day with, kind of a top-down review of the markets. We take a look at and ask the question, what direction is the market trying to go? And like I said, what I like doing is kind of looking at the last few candles here, and you can see that we've been trying to go higher, okay, in the gold market, and we've been relatively successful since August 8th here. Okay, so we've moved from I guess 24.22 up to our current level at 25.12. Okay, so but if we look at it from a larger context, you can see that it looks to me like we're developing a little bit of an ascending wedge pattern here. Okay. Good morning, Salo. An ascending wedge pattern, right? You can see that this is kind of what we're established here. Okay. So it looks like this level here at 25.12, actually 25.20, is a bit resistant, right? This is our uh, third attempt. Okay. Third attempt at trying to get above, or actually the bulls trying to get above this level. Each time it's been each time it's reached this level, it was met with some selling. Okay, but the one thing I will say is, and I guess obviously that's a function of ascending wedges, the reaction is not as strong. Okay, we still don't know exactly what this reaction is going to be. All right, but ultimately it's going to make a decision. All right. Ultimately, this area potentially could break. Okay. So, in any case, does appear that we are, kind of either consolidating in an upward direction. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and remove the drawings. We'll take a look at the 4-hour chart. So sentiment on the daily, I would say, remains bullish. Okay. We've been in this range of late. Okay, on the upper end of the range here. Any attempt to sell this market has been met with buying. Okay. The bears have not been able to make much headway into taking this market lower than 2,500. Okay, so 2,500 is kind of the line in the sand, I would say, in the gold market. I would say that long above, short below would be a reasonable approach to gold. So long above 2,500, short below 2,500. Okay. So 4 hour, again, we have a series of higher highs and higher lows. Okay. Higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And right now we're in a bit of a range. Okay. Looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay. 30-minute chart here. We have, again, just kind of an expanded view of what we saw on the 4 hour, right? Here we are since the pretty much the open of the Asia market, or open of the day. We've been in this range from 2520 down to 2500. Okay. We've been bouncing in these two levels, right? Any attempt to go higher has been met with selling. Okay. Um, so again, 30-minute chart is a bit on the, so let's go ahead and next order of business for me is to see if I can locate my spreadsheet where I have my levels. Okay. And then we'll add those to the chart. Okay, so we'll do that, and then we'll kind of confirm that we indeed have they're correct. So we'll go ahead and add them here. Okay, so these are the levels that I'm looking at. Okay, we have, and we'll just go ahead and in a top down way, kind of establish these. Okay, so first thing I'm going to pull up is the average daily range indicator at ADR levels. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and confirm that I did have the correct price. Okay, 2527.9 is the upper end of the range. Okay, um, and then we have what's that, 2484.80 as ADR low. Okay, so that's in line with what I have here. Okay, and then the next set of things here, well, we don't have, we already kind of passed the 4 hour chart, but we have a value area of 4 hour supply zone here at 2512. Okay, 2512, which we are, pretty much at right now. Okay, so we're at a supply area. And then we have settlement price, which is the closing price for yesterday at 2507. Okay, and then the next thing that I'm going to be drawing here is our volume profile. All right, so volume profile, I'm going to look at today's Wednesday, so I'm going to be looking at Tuesday's session. So I'm going to start with the 830 bar, drag that across to the 430 bar. And so this is basically our not initial balance, but our value area here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and again, we're just going to go ahead and confirm these numbers here. Okay. So this is our value area high. We're going to draw that in blue. This is our value area low, which we'll also draw in blue. And then we have our point of control, which we'll draw in as red. We're just extending those lines to the right. So if I decided that I wanted to remove this volume profile, the lines would remain. Okay. So I guess a way to unclutter or declutter my chart here. Okay. So you can see here, and I guess this whole candle is a result of the CPI report, but we opened inside of value, and because of the news, okay, we've been whippy, right? So again, classic example of why we don't trade the news. We've got an equal move higher as we did lower. Very hard to hold a trade like this in any kind of direction. Okay. So right now, price is in range and in value, which means it's in balance, which means that we should be expecting range kind of price action in the market. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the initial balance range. You can see that we have a very wide initial balance range. Okay. Now I would say that we're going to be a little bit hard pressed. One of the things that I look for in as far as a trade, I look for initial balance extensions. But given the wide range that we have as a result of the news, I think the market is going to be a little bit hard pressed to make any significant extension away from the initial balance range. Okay. So what might be, well, what we might have is kind of a range price, right? Where we basically bounce between IB high and IB low in today's market, all because we got I guess, a little bit of an extended initial balance range. So I'm not going to be, I guess, super keen on looking for an extension of the move in any one direction. Okay. What I'll be looking more for is evidence of range price, right? Where we get to the extreme, say IB high, and maybe it provides me some evidence that, that it's going to reverse back down to IB low and continue to trade between those two levels. 2,500 and 2,520 is kind of what I'm looking at here. Okay. So next thing I'm going to take a look at is ASR. Okay. Well, actually ADR. Okay. So ADR, we've already established. We're going to see, where is ADR? Well above us, I'm sure. Okay. And then ASR, which is average session range. Okay. Going to make sure that this says New York. It does. Okay. So average session range. So here, same, almost a similar kind of levels here, right? We have 2520 to the upside, which is almost our IB high. And then on the bottom end of the range, we have 2492.7. Okay. That's our average session range low. All right. So that's not really telling us much more than I guess we've already established that this range of 2,500 and 2,520 is going to be significant. And that's kind of what we should be looking for. Okay. That we shouldn't be looking for any serious extension away from this area. Okay. That we are likely going to remain in this range today. Okay. Taking a look and see if there's any questions. All right. I don't see anything in the way of questions. Average session range. I just want to confirm that I have the right numbers. 2520, yes. 2492, yes. So we're all good. Level wise, hypo wise, again, I'm gonna remain patient. I'm gonna wait for price to get to certain levels, such as 2,500, and look for longs. If price gets up to 2,520, I'm gonna look for shorts. And basically, I'm going to look for the market to bounce between these two levels for the session today. Okay. All right. Not seeing anything in the way of questions, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the crude oil market. Okay. Yes, buy the lows would be the operative here. Okay. Buy the lows. Okay. So yeah, if you can get 2,500, great. If you can get down as low as 2492, that's even better. Okay. But yes, you want to buy extremes in this market potentially. Okay. All right. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the crude oil market. Okay. This is kind of I guess now has become my kind of standard view. The only one that I would probably add to this is the Dow. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the crude oil market. Okay. Expand that out a bit. I'm going to remove the ADR levels and the ASR levels and this is something else I'm kind of experimenting with. All right. And the first order of business is I'm going to look at the daily chart. Okay. What is the daily chart trying to tell me? Okay. Well, similar to gold, right? The daily chart is telling me that it's trying to head higher. Okay, in this market now, in the last couple of days, or yesterday, we had a little bit of a pullback. Okay, now we have a candle that's kind of a little bit on the indecisive side, but it's still very much inside this bullish candle and above. Right, we're technically above what was prior resistance, so we're at a supportive level right now. But I wouldn't expect too much. I guess it could. We could. I guess there's some leak in the report there. But generally, before news, it's going to be kind of muted, right, in any one direction, unless market participants get a sneak peek of what the inventory reports are going to say. At which point they may take a preemptive strike and move the market in whatever direction that the report lens provides. Okay. So right now, I would say that the market is changing a bit of character here, right? So we are breaking some price action, okay? We're starting to develop some price action that would indicate that maybe that we are experiencing a little bit of a change in character, okay, in this market. You can see that we had a solid daily candle here that broke above this bearish channel, okay? So sentiment is, I would say, changing from bearish, okay, to potentially bullish, okay, in the crude oil market, all right? So we'll move on to the 4-hour chart, kind of examine these candles that we have here of late. All right. So again, we have similar to what we described in the gold market. We have higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. We're now at a higher low. Question is are we going to continue? Okay. We're already seeing some evidence that we have a little bit of a buying wick here. So there is some buying pressure at the moment in the crude oil market. All right. So there's nothing in here that tells me that we are bearish. Okay. Similar to gold, appears to me on the 4-hour, we're also bullish. All right. So taking a look at the 30-minute chart. Okay. This is where we start to look at things like volume profile and things of that nature. I'm going to go ahead and modify that. I did some analysis here prior to the call here. So I'm going to go ahead and modify this to my ranges. Okay. This is value area high. Okay. Right here, I'm going to modify this to a blue range. Okay. And then we'll keep the red. All right. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to locate the my ranges, my levels here. Okay. So we'll go ahead and find them. And we're going to go ahead and add them to the chart here. Okay. All right. So here's our ranges. All right. So first order of business here, just going to confirm our average daily ranges levels here. Okay. So we have 80. Okay. I've got 80 as our average daily range high. That's also a psychological level, guys. So if we do, if we do rally, well, that 80 is a reasonable target, okay, to reach, assuming that we're able to get above value area high, okay. If we're able to get above value area high, I think we have a reasonable chance to get up to as high as 80 before we see any sort of significant reversal in the market, okay. So let's see. We got average daily range low at 77.50. Okay, where's average daily range low? Okay, 77.52. All right. Next thing I'm going to add here is our average session range. Okay. Now this is, I believe, the Asia market. Yes, Asia. Move this to New York. Well, actually, we're going to keep it there because it's probably going to move it. Okay. So Asia session, we have 79.17 on the top side, and we have 79.43. Now, again, that's probably going to change once the market opens here. And so we'll keep it at that. We'll keep it at those levels here for now. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. We've already got our value range. Okay. And so we're not technically open yet, right? We're about 5 minutes away from the open of this market, but we have again a pivot. So I don't think I did this in gold, but I will do this for crude oil. And if this move is intact, I do see a little bit of a pivot here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and draw in my anchored VWAP. Okay. So if indeed this market is bullish, all right, it's going to stay above, right? It's going to stay above this anchored VWAP, and this anchored VWAP could provide me a level by which I can participate, right? Now, not only is it above anchored VWAP at the moment, it's also above, or working to get above, the daily VWAP. Okay. So these are both kind of, I would say, bullish kind of events, right? If we get price above, ideally we want price above 79, and that will probably open up some doors, open up higher prices up to maybe as high as 80. Okay. So we did take a peak below, right? Price did take a peak below, but it was met with buyers. Okay, was met with buyers. Now we've now gotten inside value. All right, and now above VWAP. So there is really nothing here that I guess stand in the way of getting back up to the top of value, in my humble opinion, back up to 79. Okay, I think we're well positioned for that kind of move. Okay. If we're more bearish in the market, well, we have the ASR high here at 79.17. Okay. I don't know if daily VWAP is going to offer us a level here. Certainly, it could, right? This daily VWAP could reverse. We could get potentially a 3-bar reversal, but this feels like it's in the middle. Okay, not at really a significant extreme. So I would say if we are looking to sell, we need to wait for higher prices here. Okay, as much as that sounds counterintuitive, we want to sell strength if we're looking to sell the market, right? And we want to buy weakness. But right now, I would say the market is looking to me as bullish, okay, and that we should look for opportunities to the bullish side in crude oil. All right. Let's see. I got my anchor VWAP. I've established our levels. I have my ADR zones, my ASR zones. Yeah. So again, I suspect that price price is going to open inside value. Okay. So again, we could potentially expect a range price action. Now, notice how the CPI really didn't have any impact on the crude oil, right? Crude oil is one of these markets that I often lean on when we have news like FOMC and things of that nature, because it's impacted by it less than, say, gold and in the indices. Okay. All right. So that's, I think, pretty much what I have to say for the crude oil market. I would say that the view is more toward, I would say, bullish. Okay. I would say that we need to look for opportunities to buy this market. Okay. In areas, reference levels where we can manage our risk. That's the goal. That's what we do as risk managers, right? We locate locations where we can participate in the market and where we manage our risk, right? That is the key to success and long-term success, I would say, in trading here. Okay. All right. Okay. So that is, I believe, the start of the open of the session here. So I go ahead and open up the initial balance range. So I'll let that play out, and I'm going to let crude oil play out for a good hour and a half here before I start to look to see what kind of opportunities present themselves. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the equities. All right. The equity of choice for most everyone that I talk to is the NASDAQ. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start with the NASDAQ. Okay. We're going to say remove this here for now. And we're going to turn off ADR, turn off ASR, and we're going to look at the daily chart. All right. Daily chart. Okay. Again, we're asking ourselves the question, what is the market trying to accomplish? Well, if you look at the last set of candles, the last 3 or 4 candles that we have, okay, we can see that the market is trying to head higher. Okay. That is what the market is trying to do. And if that's what it's trying to do, then we as market participants, okay, want to align with the market participants that move markets, right? So we need to align ourselves the best we can in the same direction, in this case, bullish. Now, we are coming into some areas, right, that could pose some resistance. Okay, we have this, I don't know, 19,000, say 700. Okay, this area here, we do have some evidence of sellers here. Okay, So we need to be wary of that. 19,600 seems like one of those levels, but that's 500 points above where we are right now. Okay, so certainly there's still a little bit of room, right, to potentially take a long trade, maybe up to that level. All right, 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, telling us pretty much the same things here, guys. Okay, we have a series of higher highs and higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Maybe we're going to get another higher high here. Okay, in the 4-hour chart. Let's go ahead and move this. Just go with the standard. Okay. All right. Let's remove some of these drawings. Okay, and then we'll add our new levels. Okay, and then we'll just confirm them, and then we'll talk hypos. Okay, so we are looking at the NASDAQ. Okay, all right, and we're just going to go ahead and add the levels here. Okay, so here are our levels. We're going to go ahead and move on to the 30-minute chart. And I lost my levels. Okay, we'll do this again. All right, here are my levels. I'm going to stretch this out here a bit just to kind of give us, visibility as to the context of the market. Okay, so this is news driven, right? With this wick candle, so we can see that there are some buyers in this market, right? We have some buyers that stepped into this market when the market came down. That's the nice thing about news events. It tests the limits of the range, right? It forces market participants to take action. Okay, so someone decided that they wanted to take action around 19,000. Okay, they felt that 19,000 was a good level to enter this market. Okay, and the same is true on the upside. Someone said, okay, well, enough's enough. I'm not willing to pay more than 19,165, but it gives us a range. Now, Nasdaq isn't quite open yet. We have another 25 minutes or so for this market to open. But right now, we already understand what our range is. We understand what the market is offering. Okay, so that's the beauty of having news events like that. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and start off with, let's say we're going to start off with the average daily ranges. Okay. So we have above us, okay, well above us, the average daily range. Okay. So this is up here at 19,390. Okay. That's our average daily range high. We're going to go ahead and open up our ASR, but this is more for Asia. Okay. But again, notice how price came down to this ASR level, even if it's Asia's level, okay, and it reversed away from it. Okay, it's again these average ranges, both on the daily and the session, offer us opportunities, offer us locations where we can manage our risk. Okay, so this down below here is what is that? Covered. Okay, 19,011. Okay, I got it at 19,1050, which is close enough here. Okay. Let's see what else. We got average, say 225. Okay, we're good. All right. So really, the only thing that's left for me to do here is to draw in my my value area. Okay, and that is I'm going to do that using the fixed range volume profile tool. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the 9 a.m. bar because that's when the crude oil market opens, and I'm going to go ahead and drag that across to the close. Okay, so market is yet to open, but we are kind of peaking above value. Okay, we are peaking above value. So bulls are, I guess, trying to take control of this market, okay, to potentially to the upside. Okay. Let's see. So we're going to go ahead and extend some of these lines. We'll just do a quick spot check to make sure that they're all in order. All right. So this is my value area high. This is my value area low. This is my point of control right here. Okay. I'm going to change that point of control into red. All right. And then I'm just going to just double confirm that I have the correct prices. Okay. So I have 19,000, was that 113? Okay. That seems to be in order. I have value area low at 18,000. I got 905. Okay. That's relatively in range. And then my point of control is 19,069. So all these levels are very much in line. Okay. So what are some hypos as I go into this market? Well, the one that I see right now is a potential move up to ASR high, one, assuming that we hold. Okay. Assuming that we hold above value area high. If we hold above value area high, I would say that we have more than a reasonable chance to get up to at least this ASR level that was established in Asia. Okay, if that does not happen and we close back inside and maybe get below some of this structure, then we have a chance that we could potentially rotate through the value area. Okay. So it's kind of like kind of a light switch kind of decision that needs to be made here. Are we gonna remain above value and head higher, or are we going to come inside value and potentially head lower? Okay. So instead of a myriad of decisions here, guys, there's really it's really just two data points. Now, on the short side, okay, I'm going to want to see price get below some of these levels here. I would like to see it get below point of control, because what has point of control served up until now? Well, point of control has served up until now as support. You see, it's been supportive here, been supportive here. So I wanted to, if I'm going to go in any kind of direction, I want to see price break a level and then participate as a result of that break. Okay. I don't want to, I would say, front load or try to front into that direction, right? Let the market participants establish what it is that they want to do, and then once they do that, then I try to, I guess in some ways, ride on their coattails. Okay. All right. Let's see. Any questions on the Nasdaq? So right now, I'm looking for a long. Okay, in the Nasdaq. As I mentioned, we're about 20 minutes away from the open of the market, so I'm going to be patient for that. I'm going to wait for my initial balance range to establish and then look for opportunities. Maybe not so much in the NASDAQ, but if it does provide it, I will take it. Otherwise, my focus is probably going to be on the Dow. Okay. So like someone said yesterday, the Dow is like a NASDAQ on medication. Okay. It's a lot slower, moves a lot, allows me to process and evaluate price much nicely, much better. Okay. All right. Okay, so if there's no questions, we'll move on to the ES market. Okay, so we'll go ahead and open up ES, which is one here in the middle. We'll go ahead and open that up here. We'll do the same activity that we've done for all the other markets here. Okay, and that is, shut down a lot of these levels. We're going to go ahead and look at the daily chart. Okay, and see, okay, well, what is the market trying to establish? Well, the market is also trying to establish higher prices, but we are coming into an area where we could see some sellers. 5,600 seems like an area where we could see some selling. 5,650, 5,646. This was a prior level of support, not the greatest level of support, but support nonetheless. 5512. Okay, you can see that what this was, again, a prior support level could become resistant. Okay, so while the market is trying to move higher, there are some levels here, okay, that could, present some challenges for the market to continue higher. Okay, any sort of consolidation area I see in that chart offers me something that could cause price to stall. All right, for our chart. Okay, for our chart, starting to make a series of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, Back when we were talking around this level, I was thinking more like that, maybe that we have a potential of doing one of these numbers, but I've been proven wrong. Okay. Price continues to grind to the upside. Does that mean that it cannot go down? It absolutely can go down. Okay. If it's going to go down, it's probably going to go down right when we get closer to this 5,600 level. I do expect some sort of reaction. I don't expect it just to power through that area without some sort of reaction. Okay. And I'm basing that decision on this swing. Okay. As I see this swing, as price nears it, I'm expecting that whoever holds, so these portfolio managers that maybe hold, kind of longer term, medium term positions, are probably going to want to protect their positions. Okay. So either they're going to step in and sell, or they're going to liquidate and say, you know what, I've read this market wrong. I'm out. And that could cause an acceleration of a move to the upside. Okay. All right, so that's kind of what I'm seeing on the 4-hour chart. We're starting to see a series of higher highs and higher lows. So we're going to look at the 30-minute chart. Okay, so we're going to, kind of open this up here. All right, similar to what we were seeing I'm just going to spot check here, make sure I got the right start of the session here. Yes, I did. All right, so similar to what we saw in the NASDAQ, prices came down to point of control and is now hovering above value. All right. So when it's hovering above value, my view is that we are bullish. Okay. So, and again, we're about 15 minutes or so from this market opening up here. Okay. So the first order of business here, we'll go ahead and locate our levels. We'll kind of add them to the chart here. Okay. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll add these to the chart. Okay, so here are our levels. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add ADR. We'll start with that and see where that lands. That lands above us here. So our ADR level here is 55.17, which you have here. Our ADR low is down at 53.98. Yes, that's what I have. So the next one I'm going to draw in, add here is ASR. Now this is an Asia level. Okay. This will probably adjust on us here once the New York session opens. So we have 54.76 and 54.38 respectively, ASR high, ASR low. Okay. And then our value area high is 54.61, which we have here. And then our value area low 54.22, which we have here. Okay. So what to make of this market here? All right. So hypo wise, well, as I mentioned, if we do close above, okay, then my view is that there's potential that we head higher in this market. Like I said, I'm not this ASR high is going to change with the market. It's probably going to end up a little bit closer to that daily area there. Okay. But if we do manage to stay above, then I like my chances to the upside. And again, if I close back inside value, and this is a little bit cleaner, okay, I could potentially see a full rotation of value. All right. So I'm going to wait for the initial balance to establish. Okay. I'm going to see where price is in reference to value high, and then decide from there on what direction I want to take the market. Okay. All right. So let's see. Is there anything else that I want to be calling out here? I'm not seeing much in the way of pivot. I guess if I had to draw a pivot, this would be the pivot down back here. So if I wanted to draw an anchor VWAP, maybe this would be the area that I would draw it. Okay. So if price remains above that, then I would remain bullish. Okay. In the market. We've been in range here over the last, I guess, for most of the tail end of the U.S. session into Asia, into London. So really not a whole lot of initiative price action in any one direction. So, can we expect the same? Can we expect the same in the U.S.? That's a possibility, right? Really, it took the jolt of CPI to kind of move this market a little bit. and really didn't move all that far, to be honest. Okay. We had a little bit of like a 20 point maybe move here in the ES. Okay. All right. So let's see if there's anything question wise. I'm not seeing it question wise. So we're going to go ahead and close off with the Dow. Okay. The Dow is going to be the last market we look at here. So we're going to go ahead and adjust this to YM. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and adjust this to YM. We're going to do the same, kind of top down analysis here. Okay. We're going to go ahead and turn off ADR high. We're going to turn off ASR, and we're going to go ahead and open up the daily chart. Okay. And ask ourselves the same questions we've been asking ourselves. And you can see that I did take a couple of trades in the Dow yesterday. All right. Both profitable trades, I might add. Okay. So right now I would say that, if I were to just hide these candles, right, and look at, so we have higher highs and higher lows, but I also understand that we are in a larger kind of bearish kind of price action, right? So again, I'm a fan of drawing these kinds of things. Okay. Channels, right? Parallel lines, and they're called in TradingView, and that gives me a sentiment or view of the market sentiment. So in this case, price is inside a bearish channel. If it's inside a bearish channel, I have to think bearish. Okay. But I also understand that of late, I've had a series of higher highs and higher lows. So if I am long, okay, if looking long, then I feel like this level right here would be a reasonable target, and maybe as high as the upper end of this channel before we see another round or swing to the downside. Okay. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. Okay. 4-hour chart, similar kind of thing. We are seeing price kind of grind its way to the upside. Okay. Again, this to me still feels like, kind of it's a pullback from this general swing lower. Okay. Not, this appears more of that variety than a real significant, but it is grinding higher. I can't, we have higher highs and higher lows. I can't deny that. Okay. All right. 30-minute chart. So 30-minute chart, we're going to go ahead and remove this. Okay. And we're going to start. I don't have any levels established. Okay. Here. So we're going to create them on the fly here. Okay. So first order of business that I'm going to be looking at is ADR high. Okay. So, or ADR range. Okay. So we'll go ahead and establish that. And again, this is a good, I guess, primer as to what I do with any market that I review. Okay. So I have ADR high here at, what is that? 40,253. Okay. And then ADR low at 39,528. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up ASR. Okay. That's probably an Asia range. And it is. Okay. So this Asia range. Oh, what did I do? Did I just lose my, I did, didn't I? That's not very nice. Okay. So ADR high. Sorry, guys. ADR high is, I might have captured a different number earlier, but I'm going to put 40,249. Okay, is ADR high. ADR low as, I think I had 39,528. Okay, my ASR high, and this is more of an Asia high, 39,978. ASR low is 39,768. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to draw here, and I'm going to expand this here a little bit, bring this down. I want to lose it. Okay. Is I'm going to draw in my volume profile. Okay. Volume profile. We'll do this. We'll start with the We'll start with the 9:30 bar from Tuesday. Okay, drag that across to the 4:30 bar. Okay, so there's our value area high. I'm just going to extend this line to the right, and it'll tell me what that number is. Okay, we'll change that to blue. Okay, so I have 39,000 value area high as 39,923. Okay, now this we'll get to the high post here in a second. 39,923, and then we have value area low at what was that? 39,659. 39,659, and then we have our point of control. Okay, here at 39,000. Was that 856? Is that what we got? Yeah, 856. Okay, as our point of control. Point of control. Point of control. 39,856. Okay, now we've been saying for all the other equities that we were looking a bit bullish, right? We were above value, but this is the first one that actually is inside value, and it almost appears to be developing something more bearish. Okay, we have a bearish engulfing candle that's been, starting to establish itself in the Dow. All right, so now the question is, since the Dow and the Nasdaq and the S&P are somewhat correlated, is this a kind of a sneak peek to what we could eventually see in the ES of the Nasdaq? And that is that we maybe potentially see price break the not the point of control and head lower. Okay, so that's kind of, again, a little bit of a difference of opinion between what we were seeing in some of these other equities, Nasdaq and ES in particular, and what we're seeing currently in the Dow. Okay, so that would be one scenario. If we do manage to get below point of control, then we can move down to this ASR low, which is Asia based. It's going to adjust here when the New York session, or we make a full rotation through value all the way down to 39,659. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the Dow. I also see that we've created a little bit of a supply zone here, right, just above. Okay, so this again could serve as an area for additional support of selling, a reference level to support a sell in this market. All right, but as I do with all the markets, I don't do pre-market. I wait for initial balance to establish itself and then pick a direction. Okay, you're welcome, Frizu. All right, so that's kind of what I have for the Dow, guys. So we have 5 minutes to spare before the open of the market. We'll go ahead and close the session off. If there's any questions, I'm happy to entertain them. Otherwise, I'm going to wish you guys certainly another reminder for those who trade crude oil that we do have inventories today at 10:30. Okay, you need to be aware of that, and I would highly recommend that you remain flat for that news event. Okay. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me. So you're welcome, Ricky. You're welcome, Frizu. Don't be afraid to hit the subscribe and like button. Don't be afraid to comment on recordings that are available in YouTube as sessions like this become available. If it resonates with you, I'd like to hear about it. If it doesn't resonate with you, I'd like to hear about that as well, on how we can potentially improve these sessions going forward. Okay. All right. I think that's it for me, guys. So you're welcome, Sapadia. As I close every session, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. All right, guys. Have an excellent day trading. Stay true to your levels, stay true to your process, and good things will happen. All right, guys. Have a good day.